getting a buzz cut for locking in purposes really worth it? Is it worth the hype? I think I'm in a pretty good position to answer this because I'd say for the last year and a half, I've been pretty locked in onto one particular goal, and I'd consider myself locked in, and definitely I'd say I wanted to be locked in. And the second characteristic, I got a fresh buzz. So with these two considerations, I think I'm in a pretty good position to explain if a locking in buzz cut is really worth it. So before I start talking about the content, I'm Danuga, and on this channel I like to talk about things that I've experienced. I'm like going through stuff I have gone through and stuff I've thought about. And hopefully if you're in a situation similar to mine, maybe a couple years younger than me, maybe you're on your own journey of like trying to achieve something, then I think you can relate to me. And if you can, then quick plug, I would recommend subscribing just so you see more videos. But anyway, let's talk about, should you get the winter buzz cut, the locking in buzz cut? Is it worth it? And what benefits will you get from getting a winter buzz cut? So the short answer is yes. If you really want to lock in, and you really want to like perform better, I think there's no harm in getting a winter buzz cut. Like obviously, you might be chopped, but like if your goal is to like do something that's not related to looks, then like no harm in trying. But my medium tier answer is yes, there are very good benefits, but you won't get any of the results unless you understand where they're gonna come from, why they're gonna come from, and how you can actually cause these effects, right? The thing is, you can't just get a buzz cut randomly and then expect to work harder, right? That's never gonna happen. You have to anticipate and plan what things are gonna happen when you do this transformation so that you can get the most out of it. So if you're planning on getting a locking in buzz cut, or if you're like still on the fence, I'd recommend watching this in full so you understand, if you were to get one, if you were to do something drastic like this, where the results are gonna come from and where you should look for these results. So let's get into the main part of the video. So my main, I guess, point is that the biggest thing about getting a buzz cut to symbolize a like achieving your goal sort of thing is that basically we all know that like cutting your hair is not gonna actually like scientifically change you as a person. You're not gonna become smarter or more stronger or something. But the main thing is, short hair on your head can be a symbol and a visual reminder for your commitment to your goal or to something, right? For example, let's say you really wanted to bench press a certain amount of weight, right? By cutting your hair really short, this reminds you every time you see yourself, the reason that I cut my hair was because I want to get this goal, so I may as well work harder to achieve the goal because I've already marked it out. Like you've already put a symbol of the success and the symbol of the hard work onto your physical image, and that will propel you to do work, right? I have a video on my channel, it's about improving your self-image, and in there I talk about one of the most important things to do work consistently without burning out is to have the self-image of someone who does the work, right? You don't want to have the self-image of someone who's trying to do the work. You want to have the self-image of someone who does do that work, already has achieved success, because that's going to make you propel through that obstacle without burning out. And self-image, a very big part of self-image is physical image. It's the way you look at yourself. When you see yourself in the mirror before a sharp visual transformation and after a sharp visual transformation, you're looking at two very different characters, right? you're looking at you before the buzz cut or you before something. I'll explain a bit later why it sort of has to be a buzz cut. You can't get highlights and say that's your visual transformation, and I'll show you why, or I'll tell you why. But when you're looking at yourself before the visual transformation and after the visual transformation, your eyes are seeing two very different people, and as a result, your brain can put two very different descriptions onto those two characters, even though they come from the same person. Changing the way you look can very instinctively and intuitively change in your brain the way your brain sees you. And when your brain sees you differently, you get a clean slate to write your own programming about how you approach certain things, about who you are, and you get to get a blank slate, and then you get to actively change that. And at the start of the video, I said you're not going to get the benefits until you actively try to get the benefits. The point of that makes sense because by cutting your hair or by doing a sharp visual transformation, you're cleaning your slate. You get a blank slate, but if you don't do anything more than that, you're gonna fill the new slate up with the same descriptions of yourself before. But by actively changing as a person, coupled with the visual transformation, you now get a clean slate and you get to custom write what you're gonna put onto that slate. So for example, let's say you struggle with early mornings and you struggle with like doing work consistently. Like let's say that you're a big procrastinator, right? One big thing that makes you procrastinate is the fact that your brain is telling you that you are a procrastinator. And when your brain is telling you that you are a procrastinator, you're going to procrastinate because your brain is almost instructing you that based on like years and years and years of programming, like programming yourself to procrastinate, you're gonna procrastinate. The only way to then fight the procrastination is to then change these years of programming and see yourself not as someone who does a lot of procrastination, but as someone who does the work quickly, right? But to change your own self-image, one trick to do that is to change your visual image, because then your brain can see two different people and you can assign values. You can assign your new character trait as someone who doesn't procrastinate. So that's the main thing for me, right? Also, on a side note, one big reason I did this transformation was I did the Leukemia Foundation's World's Greatest Shave, right? So the World's Greatest Shave, I think, is a very good cause because obviously leukemia, anyone can get it, and it's not a very good disease to have, right? And so if you are also going to do a buzz cut, consider doing it as part of a fundraiser, just because you may as well help the community while you're helping yourself, right? Because I mean, the whole point of helping yourself is to be a better person to then help the community. So you may as well, speed the process up by helping out people who need it. But that's a side note. Anyway, as I was saying, the visual reminder can convince your brain that you can assign new values to yourself and be a new person, right? Another thing, if I cut off my hair to symbolize me as someone who's gonna study more, the next time I'm like feeling less motivated to study, I literally have a billboard on my head that says, I cut my hair to study. So I kind of more push to do the work just because it's literally like, there's a visual image right there that's telling you to do the work, right? And what this can do is, this is like a constant reminder of your main goal, right? Because for a lot of us, we have that one thing we really want to get. Like no matter what in life, we don't want to die until we achieve that level of success, I guess, or that thing, that one thing, right? Even though we have that one thing, and you can probably think about this too, you have that one thing that like, yeah, I want to be ripped, yeah, I want to like do this and that, but above all, this is one thing I really want to try my best at and succeed. That thing there, even though you have that thing, there's 1,000 other motivations and distractions around you, even though they're positive distractions, right? Like for example, if your main goal is to like study hard and like become a doctor, right? But your side goal is to have a great physique. It's not unproductive to go to the gym because like you're obviously helping your life, you're becoming a better person. But is that the main goal? Not really. And by doing something this drastic, it shows you, even if you think you're being productive, if you're not working towards the main goal that this symbolizes, then are you really being as productive as you want to be? And my last point about why I think cutting your hair is so much better than anything else is this reason. Hair grows back slowly. And this is the reason, right? Let's say I cut my hair, and to be honest, I think I suit the buzz cut pretty well. But if I didn't suit the buzz cut, then here's my mental thinking. I'm thinking, well, now I'm pretty chopped right now, right? For no reason at all, or I mean for a reason, but I cut off my hair, I've nerfed myself. So is there a point in me doing stuff that requires, like looking good and all of that when I haven't got it? How about I put in the work until my hair grows back out, and then once it's grown back out, then I can loosen up a bit, right? So the motivation here, it's like a little timer. It's like, because something very hard is to work really hard with no limits, right? If I tell you to just grind without telling you when you can stop, have a break, you're not going to be as productive because you're like stressing about the fact that you got no break time, right? By showing yourself, when my hair goes from here to my eyebrow, then I can loosen up a bit. That tells me until my hair reaches my eyebrow, I'm going to be working, because then when my hair grows back, I can be good looking again, and I can have all these like 6 months of work, in my back pocket kind of thing. So that's why I recommend cutting your hair instead of like coloring. Because even like, dude, if I go highlights instead of getting a buzz cut, then how is that gonna make me do more work? Sure, I could say the highlights symbolize studying, but if I have highlights, chances are I'm gonna be walking around the mall showing off my hair to everyone, right? Like obviously have to sort of nerf you in a way, just so you can use the other things to build you up. And I'm pretty sure I said this before, but I've got it in my notes. This can facilitate character transformation. You can literally change who you are, change your self-belief, self-image, all of that. You can change it so easily and so quickly by doing one simple transformation. And as it grows back, you can then transform into a new person in your own view of yourself, while the hair grows back. And then at the end of the whole like ordeal, you're back to normal with the hair, but you're a new person. And if you've been active with this, you're now a better person. So with all things considered, this is why I think there are a lot of benefits to getting a buzz cut to symbolize your locking in. Some important considerations are hairline should be straight. 'Cause look, here's the thing, right? If you look so chopped that like you fall into a depressive state, that's not ideal, right? So here's how to look good with a buzz cut. Step 1, straight hairline like I've got here, good like vertical bars. If the back of your head is flat as hell, see mine's kind of curved because I got a drop fade, but my head's super flat. If you have a flat head, get drop fades until it grows out, then you get like burst fades and stuff. But until it's short, get drop fades. But the most important considerations to looking good with a buzz cut, if that's like, obviously like we don't want to be chopped, we want to like be sort of good looking but still like locked in, right? So some considerations are dark eyebrows, highest cheekbones, straightish hairline, and then a round skull. So if you have those things, but more importantly, if you really want to lock in and achieve your wildest dreams, then maximize your chances, do everything that you can possibly, and this includes getting the lock-in buzz cut. I'll see you guys later.